Hi, my name is Bobby Seagull. I'm here today with Martin Upton, who actually wrote the Managing My Money for Young Adults course, so thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah. So firstly, can you tell us about the Managing My Money for Young Adults project and how it came about?
Well, the Open University was delighted to receive some great support from the Chartered Accountants Livery Company. Their charity trustees wanted to do an initiative to support the financial education of young people. Sure, schools are now providing personal finance in the curriculum, but it was felt that the school's curriculum is very full, teachers are busy, and something more should be done to provide education which either young people can do on their own or teachers can do with the course materials in the classroom. And maybe even parents can benefit from studying it so they can help their children learn about personal finance as well. So that's how it came about, and we were delighted to have you as the course presenter. You're the leading star of the course.
No, thank you. It's an honour to be involved with this project, especially as a teacher and someone interested in numbers and general sense. So Martin, where can we find the course and what does it actually cover?
Well, there are two versions. The easiest way to find it is to go to your favourite search engine and just put in Managing My Money for Young Adults. And then you might want to put afterwards either Open Learn, one word, or Future Learn as one word. And then it will come up and you can simply enrol. And it's a free course. So enroll and learn all about personal finance. And what we try to do with the contents is to look at the issues which young people are already concerned about when it comes to money, or those which they're soon going to have to confront when it comes to financial management. So we start off looking at bank accounts and savings accounts. We look at part-time work. We introduce the young people to taxation. We bring in the key subject of budgeting. We look forward to what comes after school, whether it's work or apprenticeship or higher education, and the big issue about higher education costs and student finance. And then we move on to shared rental accommodation. I mean, I certainly lived in shared rentals when I was younger. I think you did as well. So learning how to, deal with the financial implications of that are important. And then we look forward to making sure that the young people know how to behave responsibly when it comes to borrowing money, and even looking further forward to how do you go about planning to buy your own home, or even starting to think about a pension. Pensions may seem like something which is a long way away in terms of, something well into the future. But these days, when you start a job, you soon find you will be asked to consider auto-enrolment onto a pension scheme. You need to learn about those things earlier. And the earlier you start to plan for a pension, the better things are in later life.
So the course sounds great because it covers such a broad range of areas, but how long does it take to actually study the course?
We reckon on average it takes 24 hours of study, and the course is split up into 8 sessions or weeks. If it's on Future Learn, it's weeks. If it's on Open Learn, it's sessions. And they take about 3 hours of study each. So it can very well be that it fits with many people to do, 3 hours, 1 week, 3 hours on another week, maybe leave it for a couple of weeks, do another 3 hours. So it's not an intensive study which you've got to do, particularly on the Open Learn version, within a very short time period. You can dip in and out. And the difference between the two versions is that particularly the Future Learn version is geared towards specific presentation periods. It will run at certain points during the calendar year. The Open Learn version is open throughout the course of the year. It's always available for study. The Future Learn version also has mentors who are experienced personal finance experts who provide guidance and lead discussions on the course. So you've got two different ways to study it. So, I think young people should look at it and say, okay, what suits me? How do I prefer Future Learn or Open Learn? They're a bit different, but it's essentially the same course.
So in terms of the content itself, does it involve lots of reading? What is it about?
No, there's a certain amount of reading. You can't learn about things, obviously, without covering a certain amount of text. But we've got lots of videos, many with you in. We've got Martin Lewis, money saving expert and the TV star who leads the Money Show on TV. And he's in there doing lots of videos as well, talking to a school audience. And lots of information from him is very useful. And he's got lots of good anecdotes as well. But in addition to videos, we have animations, we have audios, we have quizzes, we have activities, and we have tests. So it's a range of ways in which we can, which the course aims to engage with people. And I think it's fun, and the feedback we've had from people indicates that, yeah, it's fun. It's not just a load of text which you've got to wade through.
So if I'm a young person thinking, oh, this sounds really great, I want to sign up, but I'm thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I've got the time to do the entire course, what would you say?
I would say go the open learn route, because you can enrol and then simply dip in and out when it suits. It may well be that, you know, you're so full of other commitments that you need to study it over a period of several months, but you can do that. You can keep coming back to the course. And there may be, at certain points of your life as well, certain key things you want to learn about, which maybe are not important to you now, but will be in the future, okay? And you can go to the course at that point and learn about such things as, okay, student finance, for example, or learn about how to borrow from the right sources. You can access the course and use it to meet your particular needs at a particular point.
So with my sort of teacher hat on, is there additional help provided to teachers and other people who want to use it in a classroom session?
Yes, basically. The course, both in its Open Learn version and Future Learn version, has got a teacher's pack, which is downloadable, and teachers can use this to support the use of the course in the classroom. They can even just take ideas from the teacher's pack and use these, amend these for their own classroom sessions. And I've already had feedback from teachers who are looking at the pack and saying, great, this is useful, and I can take parts of this to use in the class for 1 or 2 hour sessions. But in addition, the current one of the current aspects of the project is we are developing very short 2 and 1 hour pieces of education about personal finance, which we'll be releasing as well, which will be available for download and can be used very simply within the classroom.
So part of my research at university is about anxiety about mathematics, and a lot of this is to do with arithmophobia, so people who are afraid of numbers.
Yep.
Actually, when they encounter numbers, almost like their mind turns into a jumble. So how does the course deal with the maths involved in personal finance issues?
Well, we try to use different techniques basically, because I don't know, you're the expert, but I think that some people have certain techniques which work for them when it comes to dealing with maths, and others have other techniques. So we use a variety of techniques in the course. I mean, we have a certain number of animations which go through certain of the more complicated aspects of personal finance. We have tools which you can use, particularly to help you with budgeting. But also within the course, we try to demystify personal finance by cutting through the jargon and pointing to the things which are actually really important, such that if you're borrowing money, then the thing to look at is the annual percentage rate, or APR, which you will see advertised. Unless it's a mortgage where it's slightly different, but certainly if you're just looking for a bank loan, then the APR is the key thing to look at. So we use different techniques, we use different pointers, but to be frank, it's, you know, dealing with people's concern about maths, it's a big challenge. You know, and therefore the course has to, you know, use these different techniques to make sure that we can make different learners with different degrees of comfort when it comes to maths, comfortable when it comes to studying our course.
Absolutely, and I think from my perspective, people who do feel concerned about maths and numbers, the way to deal with it is to confront it, not just to pretend it doesn't exist. It's
exactly.
to do courses like this and try and use different techniques, strategies, so they can overcome that and actually take control of their personal finances.
Yeah, absolutely, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about the course for young people and adults out there. So what can they do to find out about the course?
It's so simple. You just go to your search engine, you put in Managing My Money for Young Adults, and then if you just put that in, you should find coming up quite quickly the Open Learn and the Future Learn versions, and just click on those and enroll and study. And by the way, if you go through the whole course and complete the tests, you get a certificate of achievement as well, which you can use and add to your curriculum vitae when it comes to applying for jobs and for other things which you want to go for later in life.
Great. I hope everyone gets involved.
Okay, thank you. And thanks again to the Chartered Accountants Livery Company for their support.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby.